Welcome to Employment Guide, that channel that educates you on how you as a graduate can get a job even though the statistics shows that unemployment is on the high and there are stories out there that jobs are not available. Now, from my last video, I mentioned that the government cannot employ everybody. So some of us will have to be employed by the private sector. And surprisingly enough, 75 or even more percent of the employed persons in Nigeria are employed by the private firms, either the corporate industry or the private ownership industry. So, for example, people are self-employed and others. Now, what we need to look at today is the perfect job title that graduates are always looking out for. So a lot of graduates feel if they want to work for a private company, they have to have that perfect job. What is their ideal perfect job? That job that has the big and perfect title. For example, hotel manager, hospitality manager, um, people manager, just anything that you attach manager to, or they want roles that will give them a car, a specific office all to themselves. They can command people here and there, and they picture that as their perfect job. All right, let's debunk that. The job or the first job you are meant to have is not meant to be a perfect job. Yes, it's not meant to be a perfect job. It's meant to be a job that equips you with what you need to start your career. Now, there's a difference between a job and a career, and we'll come back to it in another video. But when we are talking about a career, it's something that is sustainable, something you can have for over 20, 30 years in the private sector without losing it. And it's something that is fulfilling, a job that is fulfilling. You are growing in your career path. You are growing from just being an assistant, you became an officer, you became a manager, you became a head or a director. At the end of the day, maybe you end your career as a global director and all that. That's a career. It's progressive. It's not about just starting at a manager level and then you stay there for 10 years and you have nowhere to go and you're wondering who are you even managing. Most of the people that own those manager titles are just the only one in the department. So who are you managing? At the end of the day, people can't hire you because they feel you don't have what it takes to do the job. Now, let's start by telling you why your first job should not be a perfect job. Now, the first thing is most graduates, I'm sorry to say, but most graduates in Nigeria do not have technical skills because they went to a school where they were given handouts that are hard copy printed. They read through those handouts, they wrote their exam with pen and paper, they submitted and it was marked and results were pasted on the wall. So they don't have computer skills. Now, your first job is supposed to teach you computer skills, knowing how to create a PowerPoint, knowing how to create a document, knowing how to work on an Excel, knowing how to send a perfect email. Apart from that, it's meant to teach you people skills, right? You know how to interact with people older than you, people who are not from the same place as you. Because when you were in school, usually you were interacting with people you like. But here, you have to interact with even people you don't like, people you don't have anything in common with them, and get the job done. We learn a lot about communication skills, a lot about interpersonal skills, a lot about relationship building, a lot about teamwork and collaboration. You even learn to be excellent and innovative because you meet different people. People are challenging you at different levels. You see the way people think, and it is an added plus for you. And beware, most of those jobs don't come with good pay or one big title. Most times they come with job titles like intern, graduate trainee, assistants attached to the name. That's even if you are lucky to get those kind of jobs. But they boost your competencies both in hard and soft skills. And the second thing you get to learn is your CGPA or your scores while you were in school do not matter. What you read do not matter. When you come to the workspace, it's not about what you read. It's not about which school you went to. It's not about whether you have masters or not. It's about what? It's about who can get the job done, who can solve problems, who contributes value to the business. And that is what is used to rate your performance. That's what is used to promote you. So the dynamics changes. You keep that title of you went to the prestigious. Let me just give you an example. Some people when they are calling this video saying, oh, they only school in sub-Saharan West Africa, oh, they only this and that. You keep it behind. No matter how much you pay for that school, and you put your head down to learn. It is a learning ground, and if you're lucky, you are getting paid for it because some internship graduate trainees are being paid most time minimum wage, but it gets you to be able to feed, to transport yourself here and there, which is good because you are being paid to learn. And the last thing you learn when working, you learn clarity about what you want to do for yourself. And let me explain what I mean by that. I always encourage people to work in sectors that have different departments. And the reason is that once you start working as an intern or an assistant, you interact with different people, you will find out that sometimes what you are into is not where your interests lie or what your strength is. So I give you an example. When I started my graduate training, I was in the sales and marketing sector. Why? Because I could talk well, I had analytic skills, and I could also sell because I could talk well, and I had people skills. But because of mentorship with the people in the organization, one day the CEO picked me up with the HR and told me, "Oh, they think I will perform better in human resources." And they stated why. I didn't even see it the way they were seeing it. But eventually I took that option and it worked for me. Even though I told myself, oh, I'll just do HR for 1 year. If it doesn't work, I return back to my sales and marketing. Fine, I never returned because I found out that I had strength in business administration that I want to pursue. So I always tell people that it gives you clarity, your first job, whether internship or whatever, because you get to interact with different people. In manufacturing sector, you get to meet with the finance team, the procurement team, the logistic team, the warehousing team. You get to meet with a lot of teams, the technical production team, agribusiness, different sector. So you have the choice to even look at them and say, where do I want to be? And you even have the liberty to move in between departments to know where your strength lies. So do not always think that first job of yours have to be one big title. No, start small, build your career, have a sustainable career, have a progressive career. As HR, when we look at CVs, and it seems like you're just falling out of the sky. You just started at manager role. You begin to wonder, will you be able to integrate well? What have you even learned before? Is it just supervision? What were you supervising? Do you have the core skills of what it takes for people beneath you to do? So if you don't have that skill, so a lot of things. Don't always try to just jump at the big roles. Always try to learn those opening internship roles, assistant roles. They give you a whole lot of opportunity to learn, to be well grounded. That once your career picks up, you become unstoppable. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions regarding internships, regarding graduate training, and we will answer you. Thank you for your time.